So the other day, I'm in the bathroom, brushing my teeth, staring at this clock that's sitting on the shelf in the medicine cabinet. It's the BNC002 travel alarm clock from Braun, and it was designed by Dietrich Lubs, who collaborated with Dieter Rams at Braun. This got me to start thinking more about Dieter Rams, whose body of work and influence as an industrial designer go far beyond travel clocks. So I paused and thought about why I love this clock so much. For starters, it's a minimal design aesthetic, which I appreciate. It's clean, uncluttered, and you can see the shapes within the design are simple and straightforward. It's also very functional. Every element of the clock has a distinct purpose, making it that much easier for anyone to pick it up and operate without the need for any explanation. It's also got a simple beeping alarm that gradually increases in volume, making it a less jarring experience, especially if you're waking up in a different time zone. And the UI is intuitive and easy. A big on-off switch for the alarm, simple dials with ridges to set the alarm in time, and color is applied intentionally and minimally. It's very clear and readable. The contrast between the numbers and hands makes it super easy to read in most conditions. And it's durable. I've had this clock now for more than 20 years, and it's accompanied me all over the world. Hi everyone, and welcome to Peter's Prism, where I explore all things design from a Gen X creative's perspective, and share ideas on how great design can be applied to everyday life. Today, I wanted to talk about Dieter Rams, one of the most iconic designers of the 20th century, and his widespread influence on modern design. I'll start by providing a bit of a background for those unfamiliar with him and his work, walk through his famous 10 Principles of Good Design, and then talk about some fashion brands today that I think truly embody his design spirit. That said, I do want to add a little bit of a disclaimer that I don't claim to be a historian or an expert on Dieter Rams at all, and that what I'll be discussing is really just my take on him and his influence. So, at the end of the video, please drop a comment and let me know what you think, either about Dieter Rams, his design philosophy in general, or minimalism in general, or any of the fashion brands I mentioned. Who was Dieter Rams? Dieter Rams is a name synonymous with timeless functional design. Born in Wiesbaden, Germany in 1932, Rams didn't just set out to make things more beautiful, he wanted to make them better. In 1955, he joined Braun, a German consumer electronics company, and what followed was a 40-year career that would revolutionize how we think about the relationship between design and function. At Braun, Rams transformed everyday products, from radios and coffee makers to razors and hi-fi systems, into objects that weren't just useful, but a pleasure to use and behold. His work wasn't flashy, but it was always sophisticated, practical, and enduring. Rams believed in less is better design, a mantra that still echoes throughout the design world today. In 1961, Rams became the head of design at Braun, where he stayed until his retirement in 1995. During his time there, he cemented his position as a leader in industrial design, one who favored simple, honest, and lasting solutions. In fact, his iconic designs from the 60s and 70s, like the Braun SK4 record player or the T3 pocket radio, are still celebrated for their clarity and functionality. Beyond the products he designed, Rams is quite famous for his 10 Principles of Good Design. In the late 1970s, concerned about the state of the world's throwaway culture, he distilled his philosophy into these 10 ideas. They offer a roadmap for creating objects that are not only useful, but timeless. Let's break them down. Number 1. Good design is innovative. According to Rams, innovation in design should go hand in hand with technology. As technology advances, design should evolve to meet new challenges and opportunities. Rams's Braun designs, like the T3 radio, were way ahead of their time, using new materials and manufacturing processes to push the boundaries. Number 2, good design makes a product useful. For Rams, aesthetics should never get in the way of functionality. A beautifully designed object should, first and foremost, work well. His work at Braun was defined by this principle, where even the smallest details were thoughtfully engineered to improve usability. 3. Good design is aesthetic. Although functionality was key, Rams also believed that a product's form should be pleasing to the eye. However, this didn't mean adding unnecessary decoration. Instead, it was about creating harmony between form and function. Number 4. Good design makes a product understandable. Good design clarifies the product's purpose. It should be intuitive to use. Think about how an iPhone feels when you first hold it. There's no confusion about what you're supposed to do. That intuitive nature stems from Rams's influence. 5. Good design is unobtrusive. Rams advocated for designs that blended into the user's life without drawing unnecessary attention. His Braun designs, for example, often faded into the background, allowing users to focus on what they were doing, not the object itself. 6. Good design is honest. This means that a product should not promise more than it can deliver. Rams believed in honesty in design, no fake materials, no overpromising features. 7. Good design is long-lasting. Rams was against the idea of products that quickly became outdated. His work at Braun, with its clean lines and neutral color schemes, was meant to last through changing trends and tastes, and many of his designs are still in use today, like my Braun travel alarm clock. 8. Good design is thorough, down to the last detail. Attention to detail is essential. Every aspect of a product should be carefully considered from the buttons to the packaging. 9. Good design is environmentally friendly. Even before sustainability became a buzzword, Rams recognized the importance of designing with the environment in mind. He advocated for designs that minimized waste and encouraged longer product life cycles. 10. Good design is as little design as possible. Finally, Rams believed in simplicity. Less but better is a phrase he often used to describe this principle. Strip away the unnecessary and focus on the essentials. Dieter Rams's influence can be seen across a wide range of fields, from industrial design to fashion and retail. Perhaps the most famous example of his influence is at Apple. Johnny Ive, Apple's former chief design officer, has openly acknowledged how Rams's work for Braun served as inspiration for many of Apple's iconic products, such as the iPod, iPhone, and MacBook. The clean lines, minimal interfaces, and focus on usability, all of these can be traced back to Rams's design philosophy. But Rams's impact doesn't stop there. His work has permeated the world of furniture design through collaborations with Vitsœ, where he designed the iconic 606 universal shelving system, still in production today. This modular system, much like his work with Braun, exemplifies his belief in creating objects that are simple, functional, and long-lasting. So a few weeks ago, I was shopping in Tribeca, and I happened to be in front of the Issey Miyake store, and I decided to go in. It's not a store or a brand that I frequent. I don't own anything by Issey Miyake, but I was curious, so I stopped in, and there was this one garment that really caught my eye, and it caught my eye because I didn't know what it was. And I spoke to a salesperson about it, and I learned that it was cut from a single piece of fabric. It had one seam, but that there were many ways to wear it. And the fabrication was very durable and simple. And that started connecting dots for me between why I loved my Braun travel alarm clock, why I've kept it for so long, and why a lot of or certain designers really resonate with me in terms of their simplicity and their approach to design. And I want to talk about a few of them. So a lot of modern brands have embraced this minimalist aesthetic to focus on simplicity and function. And I would say that there are probably 6 notable examples. The first would be Jil Sander. They are known for clean lines, understated elegance, and their clothing, I think, reflects Rams's emphasis on functionality and simplicity. The brand, especially under Jil Sander's creative supervision, the founder, who is no longer with the brand, often utilized a minimalist aesthetic in her collections. The second is actually Raf Simons, who I referenced in my first video about Corpcore. He often incorporated elements of modernist design into his work at his eponymous label, focusing on tailored silhouettes and stripped-down aesthetics, which was reminiscent also of Ram's principles. The third, as I've mentioned, is Issey Miyake. That brand is known for innovative textile techniques, and the designs often reflect a minimalist ethos, focusing on form and function while minimizing excess. And a great example of that at Miyake is this line called A-POC, which stands for a piece of cloth. Using a computerized knitting machine, they produce garments from a single piece of fabric. And this seamless construction reduces weak points in the overall garment, enhancing the strength and the longevity of the clothing. The fourth is A.P.C, which stands for Atelier de Production et de Création. Please forgive my French pronunciation. This brand was founded by Jean Touitou, and A.P.C is known for very understated and functional designs, which also echo Rams's minimalist approach, while still emphasizing high-quality materials and craftsmanship. The fifth is Cos, which has a minimalist aesthetic and focuses on functionality. They also claim to have a commitment to quality and sustainability, and I think the clothes overall have a timeless quality that mirrors Rams's philosophy of designing products that are innovative, long-lasting, and honest. And lastly, I want to pull Uniqlo into this group. And I acknowledge that this is really a fast fashion brand, but the company does claim to make an effort to address sustainability, for example, using recycled materials. And from a design perspective, it tends to focus on simplicity, functionality, and longevity. Its lifewear line, for example, is promoted as timeless. And if you take a step back, the brand overall does have a minimalist approach to fashion that emphasizes usefulness and aesthetics. There's typically no excessive ornamentation, designs are understated and unobtrusive, and fairly long-lasting in that they tend to be useful for multiple seasons. There's typically no frills in garments that you buy at Uniqlo. And that's a wrap for today's thoughts about Dieter Rams, minimalism, and fashion. Let me know what you think about minimalism and how you incorporate it into your lifestyle, wardrobe, or even the way you go about your days. If you found this video informative, helpful, or inspiring, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. This is Peter's Prism, where we can see design as beautiful elements that enhance and illuminate everyday life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.